Long ago, 4.7 million years ago, when the earth was still breathing from the depths of the chaos of creation, forests stretched endlessly, and the sky rained down a light dusting of ash after the still unfolding eruptions of volcanoes. In that land, which had not known humans as we know them today, a different kind of girl was born, a girl unlike any other child of the early tribes, Sera, the daughter of light and wind. Sera belonged to a primitive tribe living on the edge of the African forests, near a mighty river guarded by giant crocodiles and shrouded in thick shadows. The tribe feared the night, worshipped fire, and believed that spirits dwelled in the wind and water, but Sera was different. Her curiosity was greater than her fear. She would venture out at night, tracking animals, and watching the sky filled with shooting stars that pierced the darkness, like messages from another world. One evening, a strange storm, unlike anything the tribe had ever witnessed, raged. The sky turned red, the earth trembled, and the screams of beasts filled the plains. Everyone tried to take cover, but Sera remained outside, captivated by a massive flash that fell near the Black Mountain. She approached it despite the danger, and there she found something beyond imagination. In a burning pit, she saw a glowing rock pulsating with heat, like the heart of a living being. She reached out to touch it, and the earth shook again, opening a gaping chasm between the rocks. She fell into it and found herself in another world, a prehistoric world in every sense of the word. Sera awoke in a valley surrounded by high mountains and dense forests. The air was heavier, the sun brighter, and the sounds were strange: roars, whistles, the distant echoes of creatures she had never seen before. She didn't know she had slipped through time, that she was now in an era millions of years before modern humans. Immense creatures filled the space. Elephants with horns as long as swords, giant flightless birds, and enormous reptiles that moved slowly but with indescribable power. Sera tried to escape its clutches, hiding among the rocks, drinking from streams, and eating whatever bitter primitive fruits she could find. With each passing day, she transformed from a frightened girl into a forgotten warrior, from a merciless era. Night after night, she learned how to start a fire from 2 stones and how to forge a spear from the bone of a dead animal. She learned to listen to nature, to hear the roar of the rain before it fell, and to smell danger in the scent of the wind. But the most dangerous creatures were not the monsters. They were the humanoid beings who emerged from the depths of the forest, a primitive, hairy group with faces more ape-like, but eyes that burned with intelligence and strangeness. They mistook her for a spirit descended from the sky and pursued her, wanting to capture her as a sacrifice to the gods they worshipped. And so began her journey to escape the pre-human tribe, a journey through valleys, swamps, and mountains, a journey of defiance between the first humans and the girl brought from the future without her knowledge. She was alone, surrounded by danger on all sides, but within her was something greater than fear, a desire to survive, and to know why time had chosen her above all others. Finally, when she reached the summit of the Black Mountain from which she had fallen, she saw the same meteorite, still glowing faintly. She approached it one last time and touched the rock once more. In a fleeting moment, light flooded her again, and the world spun around her at a frantic speed, until she found herself in the same place where she had begun, but dawn had broken and the tribe was searching anxiously for her. But in her eyes, there was something different. The gaze of one who had traversed time and witnessed the dawn of life. From that day forward, Sera told her story in the language of fire and smoke, the story of the girl who was trapped in a time before man was born, and returned carrying the secret of the first survival, the secret of life 4.7 million years ago. Days passed after Sera's return, but she was no longer the same. Something stirred within her like an ancient, unquenchable flame. She would wake at night to strange sounds coming from afar, as if the mountains were calling her by their ancient names. She tried to forget what she had seen, but images of the world she had fallen into haunted her dreams and waking hours. The blazing valleys, the monsters with gleaming eyes, and the primitive tribe that knew no mercy. Her tribe looked at her with suspicion and fear. The girl who had vanished in the storm and returned 3 days later covered in ash, her eyes shining like stars, could not possibly be entirely human. The elders whispered that the spirits had chosen her, and that the meteorite she had seen was the eye of heaven, which opens only to those destined to see the secret of creation. But Sera paid no heed to the whispers. She felt that something awaited her deep within the Black Mountain, something yet to be completed. Every evening she would go out alone to the edge of the forest, gazing at the crimson horizon and listening to the wind as it passed through the towering trees. She felt as though the earth were speaking to her in a language no one else understood. One mysterious night, as the moon climbed the sky, its color a coppery hue, she heard a faint voice whispering from among the rocks. The voice was familiar, like the one she had heard in the valley when she fell through time. She approached cautiously and saw that the meteorite that had fallen days before had completely disappeared. It was still there, half buried in the earth, the other half glowing like the slow breath of a sleeping being. She sat before it and reached out to touch it, and the air around her trembled, and the place glowed with an eerie light. This time, she didn't fall into the abyss of time, but visions unfolded before her, successive images of eras yet unborn. She saw the first cities, the temples, and the humans who would come millions of years later. She saw fire rediscovered, iron forged, the wheel turning, and ships cutting through the seas. She saw humankind build and then destroy, fight and then love, die and then rise from their ashes. Amidst this torrent of images, she heard the voice again. Daughter of light, you were the first to traverse time and the last to see it in its entirety. Keep the secret and reveal it only to those worthy, for life does not end. It returns in every cycle, like the sunrise after a long night. Sera awoke from her vision, tears streaming down her face. She realized that her mission was not merely to survive the past, but to teach her people how to understand the earth, how to respect it before it became harsh. From that day forward, everything changed. Sera began teaching the children how to light fires without fear, how to watch the sky for rain, and how to communicate with the wind through the sounds of drums. The tribe followed her, not because she was a daughter of spirits, but because she possessed a knowledge unlike that of other humans. She would tell them, every stone on earth has a memory, every river knows its path, and we are part of that path. He who fights nature loses, and he who listens to it lives. Many seasons passed and faces changed, but Sera did not age as others did. The days dragged on for her with a mysterious slowness, as if time itself feared her. She knew that the meteorite that had touched her had changed her forever, making her something between human and immortal. One day, when the sun rose in a color the tribe had never seen before, Sera vanished. No one could find her. They searched for her in the forest, by the river, among the rocks, but her traces faded as if she had returned to where she had come from. However, one of the children taught by fire found, weeks later, an inscription on the wall of the cave where she lived. The inscription depicted a girl raising her hands to the sky, with a meteorite falling to earth behind her, and below it, words in a strange language. I am Sera. I saw the dawn of the world, and I knew that life is not created once, but in every heart that learns to fear and hope at the same time. Thousands of years passed. Tribes disappeared, the earth changed, but the cave remained. One day, another person in another time will find those inscriptions and will wonder again, who was Sera? Was she a person from the past? Or from the future? Or was time itself embodied in a girl who saw the secret of life 4.7 million years ago?